Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, beautiful souls. I am Alicia Barney Matahari, the Heart Whisperer. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Drop ins and newcomers, it's so wonderful to have you here today. It's truly a privilege and an honor to read for you. Today, we're doing a collective message. There is a blue moon, which is the second full moon of the month, coming up in a couple of days. Although this is a timeless reading, and the intent is that whenever you come across this reading, that there are some messages for you here. Of course, as per usual, take it as it resonates, and if it doesn't feel right for you, you can leave it and it's not your message. And hopefully there'll be another message for you at another time. So first up, we have the Three of Voices, which is the Three of Swords. This is giving betrayal. It's giving being left out in the cold, triangulation. It's giving nights of tears, days of tears. I'm getting wandering in the desert, figuratively speaking, wandering around, wondering why people are betraying you in all areas of your life. It feels pervasive. It made you feel vulnerable, and it made you feel exposed, and it made you feel left out. It made you feel like you were the one who needed to gain access, when really what it was others wanting to pull you into their drama. It's also giving victim, rescuer, persecutor dynamic. I'm seeing you as being somebody who would always come to a situation with a pure heart and being able to see people's pain and being clairsentient, probably quite a sensitive soul, and not wanting others to feel pain. And that can be weaponized against us, especially when we're younger. It's also reminding me that a lot of people who do inflict pain have been victims in their past, but that is not license to perpetuate the cycle. And I feel like you're someone who doesn't do that. It also is reminding me that when you're involved in those dynamics, very often we can be played upon, our heartstrings tugged on, our heartstrings pulled. And especially when we're young, if we haven't been guided into discernment, we still kind of know something is off. Sometimes, if we have something solid to measure it against, if we have teachings or we're exposed to healthy relationships as well as unhealthy dynamics. If you don't have that, you don't really learn that until you grow up and go out into the world and you learn baptism by fire. And then you end up attracting a lot of people who will perpetuate that in you, pull on your heartstrings and use your empathy against you. What's really difficult for an empath in those situations and a people pleaser in those situations is that you have to come to a reckoning that a lot of the time you were targeted because of those beautiful, pure, loving qualities, and you were weaponized by someone with more nefarious agenda. You would go along with potentially mistruths, gossip, lies about somebody else because you wouldn't fathom that somebody would actually make up stories. So what ends up happening oftentimes is those kind of people, those softer people, those empathetic people, until they learn how to be their own Queen of Swords, until they learn discernment, until they learn to question their source, they can often be flying monkeys in a empath narcissist kind of dynamic, whether the person is a narcissist or not. I'm not diagnosing. We have got the world. The world comes after judgment. So this feels like a culmination And the world card is a culmination, the end of a soul cycle, the end of a karmic cycle. So this could be multiple lifetimes that you're wrapping up in this lifetime, where you were just like, I'm tired of being taken in by people. I'm tired of being betrayed. I'm tired of being the one who's left out in the cold when I give the shirt off my back, literally. And I'm the one who cries tears more for other people than they cry for themselves. Genuine tears of the heart. I'm not talking about crocodile tears. And I looked up crocodile tears once, and it's just reminding me. And actually, I was dreaming about crocodiles last night. This might be a message for somebody. Two crocodiles came down a bank, and I was with my little dog, and I picked her up, and there was no way I was getting away from these two crocodiles. And they stood up uh, on their hind legs, and me standing up to them. You know the way they always say that you never run from a bear, and I just faced them head on in my dream, and I roared at them, and we just walked away. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is coming through. But anyway, what got me onto that was I was looking up crocodile tears, and one of the things that came up where the crocodile tears phrase came from was that after crocodiles eat, they express tears. So that was kind of interesting. The world also comes after judgment, and that speaks to what we were talking about in the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a turning point, and the world is also an ending and a new beginning. But in the judgment, which comes before the world card, that's a time where we have an evaluation, where we take responsibility for our part in our circumstances. And if you get deep into the spiritual and cosmic theories, the world is a projection, and our thoughts create our reality and all that good stuff. So clearing up what it was that made us feel that way. And of course, it's more complicated than that, because we're dealing with other people that have their own wounds, that are creating their own reality. And we have to purify our own lens so that we can operate in this universe of people creating their own realities, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if it's a bit woo-woo. We've got another card here of somebody who is without clothes. So this is signifying, and this is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands can be a card of defensiveness. It can be a card where the seeker is taking the higher ground and is fighting off 6 other people. And you will still have people coming for you. You're still going to be in a world where people project their own reality, and there are people who are willing to do the work, and there are people who are not. This is suggesting to me that you've done the work, that you've taken accountability for the places and stages you were. I mean, some of these things you might have been a child, so you were navigating through road that you didn't have the skill set not to fall victim to, if that makes sense. But when you came of age and stage, and I mean that metaphorically, I don't mean the minute you hit 18 that you sat down and was like, oh, XYZ into therapy and took a full account. It's not linear like that. It's when you became aware of the patterns, and you became aware of the situations and the dynamics that you were in, and what your life was producing, and how you were feeling inside, and what that was doing for you. And then the boundaries that you needed to have, and the discernment that you needed to develop, that you did the work. And you continue to do the work, because the work is never done. We're always growing and evolving. But it opened a portal for you, and you became your own North Star, insofar as that you connected with your heart space. You went within. And it's reminding me of, in this phase of your life, it's reminding me of that song by Santi Gold, People Want My Power. It's called Go. And it's like, people want my power and they want my station, storm my winter palace, but they couldn't take it. All the way to Paris, ride my reputation, try to pull my status, but they couldn't fake it. So I feel like you've had a lot of people trying to ride your coattails and making you think you were the problem. And you were the problem insofar as that you were allowing them, but you didn't have this skill set to stand up for yourself until you did. And that's the process of being human, being life. Their lessons are different. Their lessons are, I shouldn't try to take advantage of people because I was hurt. Why would I not internalize that and say, oh my gosh, somebody did that to me? How could I possibly look at myself in the mirror and connect to my own heart and do that to another living soul? You've also got the Two of Voices, which is a card kind of the heart space being blocked off. So these people coming for you may have had your, at one stage, had you have your heart blocked off, be more protective. And your heart should be more protective to certain kinds of people. Not everyone is entitled to your heart space. And I feel like you've really learned how to decide what you want to share, how much you want to share, and how much you want to give. And it's not on this, you're still this radiant being, this radiant sun. So whoever comes into your orbit, they're going to feel the effects of your frequency. They're going to feel warmed by your frequency. Every time the sun comes out, it shines for the whole planet. It doesn't say, I'm shining for you because you have a good heart. I'm not shining for you because you're a nasty person and you do mean things to other people. The sun shines for us all, and you have that energy. But I feel like people were trying to make you doubt your own heart and make you doubt that you could be in your own frequency and make you doubt that you could shine. And there's even some form of, kind of disbelief. Maybe they want you disconnected from their heart so that they could, keep you on the back foot and that you wouldn't. I'm hearing Bob Proctor. They don't want you to leave. They don't want you to leave because when you ascend, you are more discerning about what conversations you're having, what information you're consuming. It's giving me the idea of when you become sober, you no longer can hang out with the people who still party because A, you're not in that scene anymore. B, it's a risk to your own sobriety. And C, you see what it costs you. And when you're not sober, you do obviously run the risk of not good behavior. I mean, just look at the DUIs. I was looking at one this week where somebody got, I think it was 18 years on their 10th DUI. And the judge said to this person, we're just lucky that you have not killed somebody. And it just really, the woman was like, please give me another chance. And I'm not saying that, she didn't have a terrible time that caused her to want to do that. What I'm saying is that there are real world consequences. And if she had run over somebody, she would also have to deal with that as well, as would, that person's family. You've got the Six of Inspiration, which is the Six of Wands. This is beautiful. I like to think of it as the mini star, the baby star. And she's got a star above her head. I feel like you've gone from the Three of Voices to the Six of Inspiration. And I feel that's really a visceral thing in your energy field. Like, not only, I feel like others always saw you as successful and saw you as a star. And like I said, you felt like the odd one out because that's the way they wanted you to feel. And maybe you were carrying lifetimes of that karma of experiences of that in your DNA that you were really alchemizing and that you were really at that level, not only in your body, but also in your astral body and in your causal body. You were really working to turn that around. And again, we have to close that karmic cycle. We have the World card. Others always saw you as this, but they projected onto you that you were not that. And I feel like that you internalized that and believed it, especially over the years of repeated experience, because in the spiritual community we hear very much that idea that, you know, your thoughts create your reality, and that is true. But other people's thoughts create their reality too, like we already talked about. So it's not in a vacuum. You're relating to other people, and you really had to see it for yourself. And I feel like now you actually have gone from the Three of Swords to believing that. And you won't associate in the same way that you did with people who act like that, because now you see that they're acting from their wounds, and you have every intention of keeping yourself healthy, putting on your own oxygen mask first, and you can still give to the overflow, but you don't have to let every homeless person come live with you, for example. You have gone from Three of Voices to the Queen of Materials. That's what has changed for you. The Queen of Materials, this is this beautiful healing. The materials is pentacles. That refers to worldly matters. That refers to things like your job, your home, your family, your health, your temporal stuff, your worldly stuff. And this always reminds me of Frida Kahlo for some reason, this card. I feel like you now have stability in your root chakra. You've done a lot of root chakra healing. And this is reminding me of the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra. You now have the time and space. You're not on the back foot anymore to the same degree that you were. You might still have people around you that are trying to put you on the back foot, but what's changed is you. You have built up this internal strength. You have learned how to filter everything through your heart space, not your emotional space, your heart space, your discernment. You know how to connect to that cosmic love, that place of love, that white light, that once you allow yourself to touch that place, life is never the same. It's reminding me that song Revenge. Although I have the power to bring you mother effers down, I can't make myself to destroy upon command. You never could, but now you kind of understand that other people can, because they haven't touched that place. And that is something that you came to learn was inside of yourself, and that it could not be corrupted. A diamond can only be cut by a laser. The only thing that can really, really impact you is that, and I mean on a soul level. I'm not talking, yeah, they can smear campaign you, they can take you to court, they can do all those things to make your minor arcana steps in life difficult, but they can never ever touch that place within you. And it's reminding me of Viktor Frankl. I think it was in Man's Search for Meaning, where he calls it the last authentic freedom. You know, you can come from me, you can do whatever you want to my mind and to my body, but you can't change how I respond. And I'm hearing again that phrase, you can take everyone I love, you can take everything I have, you can ruin my name, and what have you got? Nothing. And I have everything. And you've got the Temperance card. We have another card where she is without clothes. This, now you're powerful and vulnerable. You have had to learn how to really alchemize all of the karmic, I was going to say karmic junk. And I mean that lovingly. All of the karmic baggage that you've been carrying through other lifetimes that has culminated in this lifetime. And you've learned how to not take on what others levy at you as your own. They still, let's say somebody runs over your foot in their car. You still might have to go to the hospital. You still might have to wear a cast. You still will have to spend time healing. But they can't touch that place inside of you. You still have to deal with the consequences of other people's reactions. So you're more discerning about who you break bread with, who you tell your secrets to. or who you share your personal your personal wins and your personal fails. You're just more discerning. You're still as loving, and your frequency is still beautiful, and you still give. You're just more protective of your heart and your intimate space than you were in the past. You've gone from the two of voices, that place not knowing where to go. You've learned to rise above it. You've got your angel wings. You're now flying. The Knight of Voices is the Knight of Swords, and it's a fast moving energy. You're connected to spirit. You're connected to your guides. You're getting these messages. You're getting confirmation that's so beautiful. And take this message itself as confirmation. And I'm noticing the colors in these cards are very, very similar, and they're both facing the same direction. It's like you've got consensus and alignment in your chakras. And to end with, you've got the Emperor card, which is really beautiful. You are master mistress of your own empire. You're protecting your own empress energy, your own abundance, and yet still the world around you flourishes. This is really, really beautiful energy. You're the leader in your own life. You're a leader in your community, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a role of leadership, but people look up to you. People aspire to be like you. People copy you. People want to have whatever that secret sauce is that you have. What that secret sauce is this: your connection to your inner light, your acknowledgement and your owning that you are a microcosm, that you are connected to divine, that you are connected to everyone who's trying to love on you and hate on you at the same time. And you have just learned to rise above the minutia that would keep you stuck, that would keep you feeling like you're out in the cold. It's not saying that people won't do that to you, and it's not saying that you won't make mistakes, and it's not saying that you won't get triggered. It's just saying that you'll be able to alchemize them. The other thing I wanted to notice is that we've got a Queen here and we've got the Emperor. So you could be at a time where you're now ready. This could be two things. I'm seeing it, and we have the Temperance card, which can also be a soulmate card. I'm seeing this as also potentially either your masculine and feminine coming into harmony with each other, and also then being ready to meet a divine counterpart if you are on that trajectory and that's something that your heart is desiring. That your true heart is desiring, because that's not for everyone. And if it is for you, I see the energy opening up for that for you. This is really beautiful energy. I am so happy for you, and congratulations on closing out this cycle and moving away from suffering to celebration. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you feel called to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.